The first tattoo I ever got and why. This is Brian Cain with the Mental Performance Daily Podcast, and we go back to the fall 2002. It was my second semester of graduate school at Cal State Fullerton, doing my master's degree in applied sports psychology with the great Dr. Ken Ravizza. We were in a sport philosophy class, and for some reason that day I was pretty checked out. It was one of the only days I remember in graduate school being checked out. And I don't know if it's I was going through a relationship breakup or had some adversity I was dealing with in life. Whatever the excuse was, I wasn't really locked in. I'm sitting in the back row. I normally sat in the front row. I had a notebook. I usually brought my laptop and typed my notes. And as I'm sitting back there in the sport philosophy class, I'm not really paying attention. He's talking about different philosophers. And then he drops a photo on an overhead of the existential man. And he says, you see, if you take a look at this picture here, and it's a picture of a guy ripping his chest open, taking a look inside of himself for answers. Ken said, if you're looking for answers on the outside, you're going to be looking for a long time. You got to ask a better question. You got to look inside. And it brought me right back to the serenity prayer that I found when I was in high school about controlling the things that you can control, letting go of the things that you can't, and having the wisdom to know the difference. It brought me right back to that freshman year of high school football when Ed Foley read to us The Man in the Glass. It brought me right back to the master in the art of living, of being connected to where you are and what you're doing, and realizing that the time is now, the place is here. And as this picture was on the overhead and Ken talked about looking inside of yourself for answers, I said, I need to go get that. That is the meaning of life. I grabbed the overhead. I walked down the hall during a break. I made a photocopy, and the next day I went to some tattoo parlor down in Huntington Beach, California, and I got it tattooed on my right quad. And every day I take a look at that tattoo, and every day I'm reminded to take a look inside of myself for answers, that I'm not competing to a scoreboard. I'm competing to a standard that I set for myself. And I believe it's the same way for you. If you're a coach, if you're an athlete, if you're competing, do not play to a scoreboard, play to a standard. The competition is you. It's you versus you from yesterday. Can you be better today than you were yesterday? Better tomorrow than you are today? That's the standard. Progress, not perfection. So if you want to take a look at the first tattoo that I've got, the photo, I'm going to put it in the show notes below so you can have a copy yourself. And let's dominate the day by looking inside, not outside, for answers.